Hello, and welcome to the Vermintide 2 stream at the Digital Tabletop Fest. My name's Graeme Davis. I've been with Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay from the very beginning and created some of the locations that you see in Vermintide today, including the town of Bogenhafen and Castle Drachenfels, which I developed along with legendary writer Carl Sargent, which I think we'll be having a look at later on. With me, I've got Fat Shark's narrative director, Mårten Stormdahl, who has done such a great job with the rest of his team, adapting the world of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay to Vermintide. Hello, Mårten.
Hello, Graeme. Thank you. So we're going to have a look at the Vermintide, how we've sort of visualized the town of Bogenhafen. Bogenhafen has been a favorite of mine since I started playing. We always seem to return there in our role-playing games. So this is a favorite.
Oh, I'm very glad you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to write for the original adventure. Okay, so we have a dwarf slayer, and we're looking around.
Good. Our Bogenhafen, the better.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a briefing from Loner there. Obviously, we couldn't take the Shadows over Bogenhafen adventure straight off because this is the end times and this is Vermintide. So we had to introduce a new big bad for that.
Well, that's great, and Bogenhafen was written as a sandbox for people to use after the first adventure was completed anyway. So, very glad to see you doing that.
It's going to be a bit of a sightseeing.
Sounds good.
Coming from the River Bergen.
That looks lovely. To see something that has only existed for me in my imagination, but to see it actually built is quite an experience. It's very nice.
And on the other side of the river, we can see the slummier part, the pit.
Ah, yes, the pit.
Yeah. So we can see some Norscan longships indicating that the Rotbloods already have landed. So we'll enter via the sewers.
Of course we go through the sewers, because this is Warhammer.
Yes, always through the sewers. Why is that, do you think, Graeme?
I do not know. I put the sewers of Bogenhafen into the original adventure just as an interesting and different environment, and everybody seems to be obsessed with sewers ever since.
I mean, it is a staple in Warhammer. Sewers is one of the most important parts.
Yes.
For some reason. We have Beastmen as well. Yeah, but I guess with the sewers, it's sort of the hidden or the hidden enemy that's just below the surface of the sort of civilized empire. I guess it's the same with the under empire for Skaven as well, I guess.
Yes, I guess that's true. And also the 12-year-old boy inside the mind of every role player just seems to love the possibility of falling in and getting all mucky.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's definitely a thing.
I do like the lighting here, the palette suggesting the underground. It's very nice.
I think we have a Bestigor coming. Oh, it was just a horde of Gors. Yeah.
Well, that's enough of a problem. Oh, there's a lot of them.
Yes, there's a lot of that's one of the things we do is have a lot of enemies.
Right.
And I guess one would say that beastmen in the sewers might not be the most common sight, or what you...
Right. Not usually, but certainly not contrary to anything.
No.
Since we are dealing with some conspiracy of Nurgle here, then it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
The backstabber is slain. Light the brazier, Dory. Let's see what we're about.
Yeah, there's a bit of a labyrinthine theme to
Right.
this, I guess.
Yeah.
It should be fine now. All right. And of course, you enter through the basement.
Eyes open, side fleet.
Oh, yeah, we got Skaven now.
Yeah. They're all friends in this, or I guess allies.
Yes. Well, Clan Pestilence, it makes a lot of sense.
Shatter that standard, Mayflies! She'd walk.
We tried to add some direct references to Shadows of the actual mission with the three-legged goblin skeleton somewhere in
that's
the
nice.
sewers.
Thank you.
But since I don't know what happened to that. Maybe we do have that still, but we also wanted to have the MOBA thing.
Right.
But I mean, you can't always get everything you want.
Oh, no,
I
of
guess.
course not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is always nice to have those little references that do no harm if someone doesn't understand them.
Exactly.
But if they do pick up on them, it just adds a little more depth and interest.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Banner! Give me a stroller!
And I mean, when we use an environment that exists, we always study it really hard and try to find every bit of information we can find to have that foundation to stand on, since we are using this great works as our references.
And
That's sort of how we do.
that makes all the difference in the final result, I think. And I can tell immediately that there are a lot of Warhammer fans there, just that are just happy to be working on a Warhammer game, rather than just developers who have a certain license and are dealing with it. But I can see the love.
Kill me if you can, Rookie.
I think you, when you are the sort of caretaker of an IP, you need to do that regardless.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
Otherwise,
Yes.
it's not going to work. Or
No.
it might work, but
but you just get a second or third rate product. And yeah, I agree completely. Well, you've done a lovely job here. Oh, I like the way the runes were glowing on his axes there. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
nice.
Now we introduced that with this DLC. Actually,
We've got fight on our hands now.
I think.
On the big ball!
Oh, that green light worries me. I smell warpstone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's
Not bad for a fella with
there's a lot of those
our guides,
things.
mate. Wish he'd guide mine, or better yet,
But I mean, that's also a thing coming from a video game developer background, because warpstone is this iconic thing, but in
Right.
video games, the green glowy stuff is usually a good thing, like a health potion, for example. So how do you combine that?
Yeah,
That sort of signaling.
that's
you-
interesting. Yeah,
You need to find the shades of green
right.
to be able to
Right.
communicate that properly.
Yeah. Yes, I hadn't considered that.
And I mean, even more when we mixed in Nurgle, which also is a green.
A green, yes.
So we have to
big
find
shade.
that shade of green. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
sort of try to tweak
Yeah.
that into a more greenish yellow, and then we have the more.
Right.
It's a difficult thing
That's
to.
yeah. I can imagine.
hold the line, mate. That's no work. Hit the head.
I think we should be coming out soon.
Oh. Circle of candles with a patch of blood inside. That's never good.
That's usually a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also a recurring theme with the sewer cultist rooms.
Right. Yes. Hidden temples and things.
Was that
Yeah.
us?
All right, so now we're out again.
We're back outside, and it's this
Yeah.
nice sort of grey-green light. Oh, there's more sleep.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yes.
full as well.
It
So
certainly is. Oh, Dreiecker Platz. Ah, I love that. That's a little joke I wrote back in 1986, because the square actually has three corners, and in English, it makes a joke. It's three-cornered square, which of course is a contradiction.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's really fun.
Because our word for Platz is square, and there's no, we don't use plaza or anything else. So, yeah.
Smash the flesh.
Well, there you go. You got it
Yeah.
in the game.
There
as
it
well.
is.
Policemen have raised the standard.
And if you see the fireworks in the background,
Oh yes.
that's the reason why we can run around and kill and have explosions and enemies and stuff like that, because here Bergenhafen is celebrating. It could be the same as in the adventure. What was it? The celebration there? I don't remember.
Oh, the Schaffenfest.
Oh, the Schaffenfest. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So that's why no one is reacting to this
To all the
crazy fighting.
explosions.
Yeah,
That's
because they
clever.
are all drunk and they have
They think, oh,
fireworks.
it's just fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fireworks. And that's also why we don't have any civilians running around, because they are.
Right. They're all
Yeah.
drunk or off at the fair, and
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice. Nice bit of storytelling there.
Yes,
We wanted to have these like verticality when you run up like narrow stairs and then a ladder and then a bit of a vista looking out over fish,
Yeah.
of course. Looking out over where you were just a minute ago.
Very nice. Yeah.
I think we added 3 or 4 fish markets. Just
That
because.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Very logical.
The gunlet is dead. Oh, they have trekkies. Why do you celebrate? You are invaded.
So we just had to get in Bergenauer
For the exile.
somewhere because it's such a fantastic. It's the local deity, right?
That's right. Yes, he's the local god of the river who brings prosperity to the town.
Keep quiet. There's a wreckage down nearby.
Yeah, that's nice. That definitely sets it in Bergenhafen and nowhere else.
Yeah, exactly. That was we felt as well.
Yeah.
No more banner. Look out, trekkies.
And interesting with this plaza is that there is a lot of temples around it, right?
That's
think
right.
so.
I think. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a distinct religious theme to everything.
yes.
here.
That's right. It's the sort of temple quarter of
Yeah.
the town.
So we're going to end up in the Temple of Sigmar.
Okay.
Because that's where the
A little black powder
Final.
goes a long way.
battle takes place.
Now that's a clover deal. Under hunters, slay them!
So I guess this is the route.
Grossman was not always a priest. He served the order for many years.
Really? Why'd you give it up, sir?
Some notion of raising folk up to be better.
Together! Send the buggers back into the field!
Those are hard, but with reason. It is a hard world.
Oh, that's not the green, the good green.
No. No, you can tell that the shade really does send a message, doesn't it, when you're
Yep.
picking colours for these things.
I'm throwing a bomb!
Yeah. So now it's the High Temple gate.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a very distinct architecture throughout the whole Warhammer
Definitely.
towns.
Yeah. Yes, I think you've captured it perfectly. Not just the architecture of the buildings, but the spacing, the sort of closed-in feeling, the narrow alleys. It's very, very nice.
So all those years ago, was this something you? Was it something like this that you were imagining? Obviously, hard to say.
Yes and no. I could never have imagined that it would be realized in this form. Because back then we were, I think, just about 8-bit games were the state of the art. So we could never have imagined something as beautiful as this. But yes, to have this environment to run around and fight and explore, it is wonderful. I could not have hoped for anything better.
That makes me super happy and proud, obviously, because that's what we've been trying to do.
You've succeeded admirably. This is a beautiful realization.
The fireworks in the background makes it all just a bit
yes,
bizarre.
It injects that perfect note of irony. There's the celebration over here, and there's the world trying to end over here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we got a spawn. That's fantastic.
Oh, lovely.
Nice. Oh.
Hold on, Mayflies. Going to drink.
Actually, Graeme, I didn't know that you were involved in Drachenfels as well.
Yes, this was, I think it was one of the last books that Games Workshop published for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay First Edition.
Okay.
And it was published through their dedicated subsidiary Flame Publications. And Carl Sargent wrote it as a contractor, and I did the editing and development.
Nice. Yeah, because that's one of the other strong, really strong,
great, iconic location.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the temple.
Good.
It's a big one.
Oh yeah.
So we do have the in the Helmgart temple. We have another Sigmar temple, but there you play in the actual temple, the big room, so to speak.
Right. Inside the building itself.
Yeah, and here we're just gonna. Oh, it's a nice, really nice building.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's lovely.
So here we're just being, I think, in the library.
Library, yes. Very nice.
So, where's this bloody sanctum? Ain't that a beautiful shot? Right mess in here, isn't it?
She'd walk.
Was that the ever popular moving bookcase secret door I just saw?
No,
I saw somebody move a book.
Yeah, we have to find hidden switches to open the the door to.
That's a classic.
Yeah, because the door was hidden behind the bookcase, but they also had this reinforced like a portcullis
I see the
behind
portcullis.
it. Yeah, but the invaders, Skaven or Beastmen, Skaven, they couldn't get through it in time,
Right.
so they just
Yeah.
toppled the bookshelf, and then they couldn't find the secret.
Yeah,
So you'll
serves
have
them
to do
right
that.
for being
Yeah.
impatient. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing we're after is to find this cursed sword that has a
Right.
demon living in it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it to end up in the wrong hands.
Absolutely not. Yes. Ooh. Oh, was that a rattling gun? I think
Yep.
it was. Yeah.
Chop them to bloody pieces!
I like all the background shouts and everything. They're dead on. Even the accents are perfect.
Yeah, I mean, our actors are amazing.
Very, very nice. Yeah.
I mean, we've been working with them for,
That must be a while now. If
I
you
guess
used-
it's 6 years.
Goodness, yeah, I suppose it must be. Since Vermintide 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
still going strong.
good. Very glad to see it.
One more to go.
And it's interesting to see because our characters, as they would in a role-playing game like Pen and Paper, they have evolved.
Yes,
So this
that's
started
right,
out
I've seen.
like, I mean, obviously they had character and so on, but nowadays they almost have their own. They have taken their own development, and the
That's
relationship
right,
have developed, and
Yeah.
so that's
Which is
super
perfect. It's
exciting,
what
yeah.
happens in a role-playing party, and I see how they've changed careers and followed that progression
Yep,
from
yep.
the tabletop game. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, we felt that part is such a fundamental thing with Warhammer, with the careers. That we try to. My first idea was I was looking at all the careers we had, or that were in the. And it's like 200 or something. And that
Something like that. Yeah,
it would never work.
yeah.
In this.
It would
kind of
take a
setting.
lot of work to implement a free choice.
Yes,
but,
yes,
the,
of course.
the progressions you've done are very logical.
I mean,
They make a lot of sense.
when we put together the team, it felt like some of them were so obvious we almost didn't have a choice.
Right. Yes, you've got to have a Slayer.
Yeah.
No, Witch Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. And we needed to have like the representative for the normal empire,
Yes. Yeah.
which is
We
Kruger.
got the sword.
Yeah,
And is there, that's so that visual effect represents the corruption of the sword or something like that.
and it also
Very nice.
speaks to you and tries to
Tries to tempt
corrupt
you.
you. Yeah,
Yes. Nice.
and then what happens now is you unlock it in the keep, so you
Right.
can. It will be there in your trophy room, so you can go up to it and hear it whisper even more when it tries to corrupt you.
But it is now safely out of the hands of the minions
Yes.
of Nurgle.
So we in the first game in the environment of 1 we had Drachenfels, the first visit, which was
Okay.
a more should say just quite a straightforward one with some
Why didn't Lunar tell us sooner? There's every
different
chance we could do
diversions, but
It's being gloomy.
Okay.
we wanted to do it again because we liked it so much, and it seemed like the players also liked Drachenfels a lot. So
Well, yes, it is one of those great iconic locations, sort of super dungeon that's good to return to.
and I mean it is a perfect place since it's a magical castle who
Right.
rumorly it changes all the time, so you don't have
Exactly. so it's never the same twice.
No, exactly.
Yes.
So this is a more like rural village
Yeah.
We'll need the map.
than with a like mud streets and
Yeah. Yes.
and those
Very
iconic roofs.
That's right.
Up here, Dory.
Yes, you've captured it perfectly. It's it couldn't be anything other than Warhammer.
See any survivors?
Oh, Packmaster. Everyone starts screaming immediately.
That's right.
Stay alert for gunners, mayflies.
Fight them together. Stay close.
And the rattling gun again.
Oh yes.
I don't think that they were as common in the role-playing game.
I'm impressed.
No. In fact, I've just recently added them to the role-playing game because as I was working through the enemy within campaign to do the director's cut version for the 4th edition, I wrote the original adventure that we intended for the 4th installment in the campaign, which is called The Horned Rat and features the Skaven quite heavily.
Oh,
So
that's
I had to do rules for a few of their super weapons in the role-playing game.
How come you didn't do it in the first installation?
It's a bit of a long story, but we had the opportunity to have Ken Ralston write an adventure for us, which at the time he was a very well-known writer in the United States, and Games Workshop's management thought this would be good for sales in America to help give them a boost.
Okay.
And so the adventure he wrote, which was called Something Rotten in Kislev, was slotted into the 4th spot in the campaign. And so our original plan, The Horned Rat, was never actually written.
Okay.
But recently I reconnected with Phil Gallagher, who was, along with me and Jim Bambra, wrote the original campaign. And we sort of compared our memories and put together some things, and I developed that into a new adventure called The Horned Rat for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition.
Okay. Yeah, the Kislev, it was an interesting adventure, definitely. I really liked it.
Is better than none.
But it didn't really feel like, I guess this is heresy, but it didn't.
Well, if it's a heresy, it's Protestantism rather than Albigensianism, because it's an opinion that's commonly held.
Okay.
That a fine adventure, but doesn't necessarily carry the tone of the campaign.
Aye, true enough. I've never heard a story about.
Yeah, but I mean, there is some fantastic
What if that history's a lie?
things in that mission, but I guess
yeah.
things
That's some
have
very good
happened
ideas,
in the
but,
Warhammer.
yeah.
I guess with the 2 extra Chaos Gods wouldn't really work nowadays.
No. We got into a little bit of trouble over those 2 extra Chaos Gods because, the Games Workshop approach was if you created a new Chaos God, then he had to have an army, which meant that several dozen new miniatures had to be designed and created, and it was not something that you were supposed to do willy-nilly just to help a little bit of a role-playing campaign.
I can imagine, but none of those 2 were really like the army type. I guess.
No,
Neither.
they really weren't. Yeah.
So
in the original, we'd hoped to use Malal, if you remember him from the old Caleb Dark comic strip.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, there were some ownership issues there. The writers and artists who did the comic strip had some rights to that character in their contract. When Games Workshop wanted to establish total control over the IP. So Malal kind of faded away from Warhammer canon as a result of that.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing you don't think about as much. Maybe the legal side of creating these kind of things.
Yeah, as much fun as it is being a creative type, there's always the business side can sometimes throw up problems.
But I really think that Skaven as a main antagonist, they really belong in the Enemy Within.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that was, regardless, that was a good addition.
Well, ever since we first announced that there would be an adventure called The Horned Rat, people have been asking about it. So that's more than 30 years now. And finally got the chance to do it.
Yep.
And, Vermintide as well has helped keep the Skaven prominent in people's minds.
You think?
I think. I do.
Well, that was sort of the one of the driving forces, I guess, because we love Skaven so much because they are such a different.
That's right. They are, I think, as far as I know, completely unique to Warhammer. They're great for this kind of game because their culture and strategy is waves upon waves of disposable troops.
Yep.
With a few heavy weapons in the back, and and they just came from nowhere. Jez Goodwin just came in one day with a notebook, and there was everything: the 4 great clans, all their emblems and banners, most of the weapons, Warpstone. He invented Warpstone when he invented the Skaven. Everything.
Okay.
The man was just a genius, and he came in one day with just this, and it was all complete. I mean, things have been added and expanded since then, but he essentially came in with the whole thing.
Where's the map,
It was, and then of course he went on to do exactly the same for the Eldar in 40k.
Oh yeah, but I mean, they are brilliant. They have such depth that I don't think any of the other ones really. Of course, all of them have depth, but
no, I know what you mean. They were kind of created as a whole rather than being our take on a particular monster that already existed, like Orcs or even Chaos. I mean, Games Workshop, Warhammer has its own very powerful, very unique take on Chaos, but it wasn't without inspiration from Michael Moorcock and H.P. Lovecraft and others.
Well, of course, but I mean, usually you don't create anything in a vacuum. You're always influenced by other.
And I think the Skaven are unique in that respect because that's almost exactly what happened.
Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why they're so good. Yeah, and so what happened here was we saw another Sigmar temple. So they are exist everywhere in the Empire.
Oh, warp fire thrower.
That's probably a bit painful.
Yep. That's a very satisfying sound for the rattling gun as well. It has that nice deep thump.
Yeah, I think so.
You know you're dealing with a heavy caliber weapon.
Oh yeah. especially. Yeah, with a warp stone bullet.
Oh, yes. Yes, never mind your depleted uranium. Warpstone Warpstone will hurt a lot more.
Yeah, it's not just the normal wounds, it's corruption as well.
Yeah.
A mutation and madness.
We killed the lead story.
There's more sleep again.
Yep. Oh, there's Mansleep behind it.
Closer, better it fast.
Yeah.
I do believe you're getting better at this, dwarf.
Aye, well, takes a few battles to get everything flowing the way it should. What's the answers?
Oh, Crazy Angel's cabin. I think, if not, I'm not wrong. The Grey Wizard in Ubersreich.
Oh yes,
master
Chris
wizard.
Engel. Yes,
Yeah.
that was me. He was in Edge of Night for 3rd edition. I created him for that. I stole the name. There's a sort of punk stage magician in the States who was very popular at the time I was writing that, called Chris Angel. So I just stole it as Christoph Engel.
So because we used we used him in the first game as one of the contacts, or sort of second-hand mission givers.
Oh, right.
And the idea was that because you get to meet him, sort of. He's the one who protects the inn. Oh, there's the castle.
There we go. That's yep, that's the movie poster right there.
Yes. Yeah. We wanted to have this dramatic reveal moment.
And that's a lovely image.
Cracky tinkering, is it?
So this area is a throwback to the first game.
Okay.
So some of the fighting here was against Skaven tech portals, where they were trying to bring in new troops.
Oh,
and you had to overload. So since Skaven tech is notoriously unreliable,
right.
The idea was that you were to stop the Skaven slaves pouring water on the overheating coils of
that's
some
nice.
sort, and in that through that have the portals explode
And they blow up.
due to overheating.
That's a lovely realization of Skaven tech. It just about works some of the time, provided there's
Exactly.
slaves pouring water on it to keep it cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
A bit exposed there.
Yep.
Who's grabbing that bomb?
Oh, you have one in the team is captured by
Oh no.
Packmaster. Oh, it's things happen.
Oh yes.
You will trouble us no more.
Oh, but we used Edge of Night as the basis for the first game.
Right, yeah, I think that was probably the first adventure of any length to be set in Ubersreich, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then the starter set for 4th edition explores it more thoroughly.
Yeah, because the 3rd edition also takes their starter adventures also takes place in Ubersreich. But before that, I don't know if
Oh yes.
anything really important happened in
No,
Ubersreich.
no, I don't think so. Yeah.
And I guess that's what happened, because when you want to create something new, I guess you pick a place that no one else has used before.
That makes it easier, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
I mean,
and also there's so much space in the world, so much to explore.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
It's nice to go to somewhere new.
And the maps are huge, and you have usually you have at least a few different areas to
Oh yeah.
pick between.
This better taste good.
It's intense now.
It certainly is.
Bomber coming in.
I think it started raining now as well.
I hear it. Yeah. Oh, I see it too. Yes.
One's mine.
It's just as well you're not a steam tank, Saltspire. We'd never get you up this hill.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
I think Saltspire has a secret dream of becoming a steam tank driver, or maybe a childhood dream or something. He talks
Maybe.
about it sometimes.
Shield rats, check your swings.
Be more careful, Garrick son. Any further off course and we'll all be dead.
Be more careful, Correction. Weapons up. Fire like a tiger.
I think you have a patrol.
Anything we can use to get our bearings on the map. On to red boom!
Yeah, so now we have approached the castle. Have to find a way in.
Surely that gate's marked. Is there another path? Oh, grab whatever ammunition you need. How about that statue? I think it's the one on the map. Racky cogwork somewhere near. Loot rats.
Nice. Yeah, so that's the loot rat. That's a new invention, I guess. But there is actually a
Oh, there's a
novel that talks about Skaven stealing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the classic dungeon
Oh, yeah.
opening thing.
Oh yes.
Because why not?
Indeed.
If you drop the key and have to get back to your castle, you need to have a
That's right.
back door.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice.
Does that? That's not for long, I'll warrant.
Mind your step. This place will be full of traps.
Remain alert. A rattling alert.
Whatever happened to the heads, do you suppose?
Nice to be out in the fresh air, away from the sewers.
Ah, that it is, it's okay. Shame we don't have that.
Dust and shadow.
Manner of blade in the dark, too.
Wouldn't be fun otherwise.
Yeah, this is another of those dungeon puzzlers, I
Right.
guess. You need to find
Yep.
the heads of the
Oh, yeah.
lever first. And then you need to find the heads of the gargoyles.
Okay.
Well, this
yeah.
part seems to be very Nurgle infested.
The rattling is dead.
And since it's Drachenfels, there is blood.
Oh, of course.
These blood fountains.
Quick, you're yammering. There's a chaos warrior.
You need to
here.
find the other gargoyle heads.
Hold the line, mate.
But I mean, there are some aspects of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay that really can't be portrayed in this, which is kind of unique, and that's the intrigue and the enemy within, so to speak.
Well, yes, that's not the genre of game that you've been developing. And
No,
that
no.
would be a totally different matter. But this endless combat is still very, very fun, and you still capture the atmosphere. You know, it's not wrong for Warhammer.
No, I
At
mean,
all.
since it is a role-playing game,
Yeah,
anything can happen, basically.
that's right. Yeah. Yes, and although beginning characters are fairly weak by the standards of other role-playing games, when they get to higher levels like these characters here, they really can rip through enemies that fast.
Yeah, but I guess that's because our heroes are quite
Yeah.
powerful, and I would guess late game
Oh, I would say so, yeah.
characters.
Yeah. Yes, in first edition, the Witch Hunter was one of the two careers everybody was aiming, trying to steer a course to reach either Witch Hunter or Assassin, I think it was.
Okay.
People worked
right,
out that
yeah.
those were the two most powerful.
Yeah, I mean, Witch Hunter was, at least when I played as well, or I think one of the middle ones, but then ended up being an like a goal. If it was champion or inner circle knight or something like that was also
Right, yes, second edition. Yeah,
yeah the power of fantasy thing.
that's right. And of course, since first edition, through the Gotrek and Felix novels and other sources, we have many more kinds of Slayer.
Oh yeah.
It started, there was just Troll Slayer and Giant Slayer, but now there's Demon Slayer and all kinds.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the old career table and how they worked with the Slayer, that all the careers almost have an exit.
Yeah,
But the Slayer, the Slayer never had that. Because
that's right. You know, you
there's
have
only
to
death.
have to die a glorious death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the last one?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Just has to. And down we go.
All right.
And here is a much more Nurgle infested place.
Oh, I can see. Yes. Yes, there's even that slight green tint to the lighting.
Yep. And this slimy, slightly organic walls. You are outside again.
You bigger, Dory. Has to be back in the fresh air, isn't it, Dory?
And then we have some lightning.
Beach incoming!
A Chaos Warrior. Just what we needed.
All right.
Very nice too.